Hello Cancer, welcome to your September 2025 reading. My name is NiJiLL and you have found Alchemy. First and foremost, I want to invite you to listen to your birthday reading. If you haven't, it's 3 blessings coming just for Cancer between 2025 and 2026. That said, this particular part of your reading was pre-pulled. I don't know if you watched the shuffle, but this was here already when I started shuffling. This is from your fall 2025 reading. As promised, I have re-pulled them, and we're going to build a reading around them. I invite you to listen to that. It's 3 months, and 3 months worth of stuff, and it's pretty short for what it is. And I'm not going to go into as much detail here, but I will summarize it so you're not completely lost if you have not watched it, okay? Okay, so let's get started here. We have, yeah. So this is one of my favorite minor arcana. This is the Six of Wands. And this is a different kind of deck. The astrological associations are different in many decks, honestly. But this particular deck, this is just represented by fire, nothing else. But like other decks, it is indicative of victory, achievement. And now, with these larger cards, I do not take them in reverse, but I take note of them when they do come in reverse. And this one did in your fall reading, it came in reverse. So that just tells me that you may have misgivings about this victory. Yes, there's a victory. Yes, this is something that you should be happy about and that you end up being happy about. But there's some weirdness going on. There's something else going on inside you as a result of this victory. And like we kind of touched upon, this could be anything. But let's finish the cards here and then we'll go into different things. Yeah, see, you have the Nine of Cups here in reverse, Jupiter and Pisces energy. The Nine of Cups is the wish card and it is coming in reverse. So you have this really high achieving card with the Nine of Cups in reverse, and there's an underlying feeling of upset here, right? Even though you've clearly achieved something really important. Could it be? It could be anything. It could be getting asked out by a really great human being, going out on a date with a really great human being, and it's something on paper that anyone would find attractive and amazing, but there is somebody in the back of your mind that you can't let go of. It could also be a job, right? You've been offered this job, right? It pretty much sets you up. You're going to be fine. Financially, it's great. All like so many great things. But there is this other thing you really wanted to do that's gnawing at you. Could be a raise, like a promotion. Yeah, you got a promotion, but it's not exactly to the place where you wanted to be. There's a great thing going on here, and there is some sort of second guessing also going on here, or sort of pining away for something else, if that makes sense to you. And here you have the Nine of Swords coming in sideways. And this is Mercury and Gemini energy. Now, my sideways cards are always choices. And, could this be anxiety and insomnia? Sure. Could this also be you trying to figure out, do I worry about this? Do I make a decision? Should I make a decision going the other way? Should I listen to the anxiety that I'm feeling underneath this victory? Or should I release it and say, you know what, I'm just going to go for this. It makes more sense. It's more concrete. But you do have the Strength card coming in here in its upright position. I like that for you. It's Leo energy, it's self-mastery, and if anything, it is removal of doubts. So in the end, I do think that you handle this really well, for sure. You do have these two cards coming in. You have the Magician in reverse, and you have Reunion and Soul Ties. And this covers both of those things. Could it be a relationship? Yes. Could it be a job? Absolutely. Could it be both? In a way, because if you get offered this job but you have to move to another state and you have to say goodbye to a person, or you're going to carry on this long distance relationship. In other words, there's a great thing going on and there's something else going on in the background, because here you have the Magician in reverse, and this could be Aquarius energy, it could be Gemini energy, depending on what book you read. But the bottom line is your current goals, or the opportunity that you are being faced with here, does not align with something deep inside you. And it is a soul tie energy, okay? So you have a soul tie here. Now, that encompasses everything we talked about, right? It encompasses our It encompasses the soul tie that you may have with another human being. It represents the soul tie you have with yourself because you had plans, right? You wanted to take the time out to start a business, start a YouTube channel, do an online X, Y, and Z. You wanted to you wanted to write a book. I mean, there was something you wanted to do, but you've been offered this other thing that's just freaking amazing, but it has nothing to do with what you wanted to do. It's sort of like that could be a soul tie too, right? It doesn't have to be a relationship, but for some of you, it definitely is. When we add this up and we break it down, we do get Mars energy, right? And it is that assertive energy that you're going to experience at the end of the day with the Strength card, right? Mars energy and Leo energy, both fire. And we have two number 9s here too, which means you're at the precipice of finishing something. Do you do it? Do you finish it? Do you finish out this cycle and you move on? Or do you pause? You know, there is a decision that definitely has to be made here. Now let's go on with your reading. Okay, so your overarching energy is up here on top, and you have your 3 legs down here. Let's start with this. You have your Saturn. You pulled Saturn. Interesting. Okay, this is Capricorn Aquarius energy. Saturn. Saturn is the great karmic lord of the zodiac, right? Could be lessons that you have to learn, rites of passage, hard work, stuff like that. We also have on September 1st, Saturn retrograde in Pisces. Very dreamy energy, right? And it's time to recognize what's holding you back. There is something holding you back, obviously, here with all these pauses. Yeah, something great's happening, but we have to find out what the buts are here. You do have flowers, and it says happiness. There you go, right? That doesn't surprise me because you should be happy. There's some really good energy here on the table. And there's the wedge. Someone is trying to come between you and a friend or something you want. I don't believe that it is something outside of, I think it's you. There is a wedge driven between you and the happiness you're supposed to be experiencing. And I don't know why, but I feel like it's coming from you. It says dog close up, pleasure with a close friend. There may be a close friend involved in this. There may be another person. It doesn't have to be a friend. There was somebody else involved in this, a third party. Now, or a second party, actually. It's not a third party. If this is indeed a relationship, there is something outside the relationship, so I guess that would be a third party. I do think most of these doubts are coming from you for whatever reason, okay? You have here, look, you have pulled this card, and this is a card I generally pull for a lot of water signs, right? For obvious reasons. But I always get the feeling like she is trying to block out the world, right? Going underwater for peace. I don't want to hear you. I don't want to see you. I need to think. Pulling away, going inside yourself, right? You do have these two cards. One says library, one says amusement park. These could be very relevant to you in a very direct way, in a very clear way, in a very obvious way this month. Something to do with a library, something to do with an amusement park. But when we look at these cards, you can't get more different, right? That a thrilling amusement park and a loud amusement park and a very quiet library. So it seems like there's always two things going on at the same time, and these two things are very polar opposite to one another. And as a result, you are recoiling and you're like, I really need to figure out what the heck, how do I really feel? You know what I mean? You do have the Raven here, and this is Scorpion energy. It does say confidences, but it says you are encouraged to disconnect from the physical. That's what she's doing, or materialistic, and move into the spiritual. If you have a deep spiritual connection, which mustn't be ignored, you are on the brink of transformation, and your divine purpose may be revealing itself. Confidence. I'm not feeling confidence so much, but I am feeling like a retreat, for sure. And you have labyrinth, and this doesn't surprise me. Labyrinth is different from a maze, right? A labyrinth leads somewhere. It leads to the center. And there is a journey going on here to the center of something for you to find. It's like a quest. But I really feel like this quest is going on inside you. There's something going on here. It can't be said enough. It can't be said enough. Yeah. So look at the ruin. You have the eye. And the eye ruin is astrologically, it stands for whoever pulls it. So this stands for Cancer in your case, and it also stands for Planet X. Planet X is a hypothetical planet that they haven't discovered, but they feel is out there. So this is something you're feeling. There's no tangible proof. Maybe that's why you're confused. Maybe you're like, I don't know why I feel this way, but I do. And it is what it is. There is something going on here, something unproven as of yet. You have U, W, K, and R as letters. These could be someone's initials. It could be a restaurant, an airport, a street name, a company name. Just keep an open mind when it comes to these letters. But one of them or all of them will mean something to you by the end of the month. I promise you that. Also, this rune screams the word yes. A lot of these runes have yes, no. There is a yes, but what's interesting, there's a yes attached to the rune and you have a no here. You're very ambivalent. There's something going on that's making you feel both two ways. You have a yes and you have a no on the table. And I think both of them are coming from you, at least for part of the month. So you have 999 here, and it says, I am unique. I would say so here, Cancer. It says, thank the past for your lessons and leave it where it belongs so you could make the best of life that is still waiting to be fulfilled by only you. I am unique. Is there something holding you back here from the past, Cancer? And there's the nines again, right? That feeling like you're on the precipice of something important. You have Thanatos. Can't speak today. Yeah, I like this card. Very interesting card. You have a lot of Scorpion energy so far on the table. So obviously this is Pluto Scorpio-based energy, and it is number 73 in this deck, which breaks down to a number 10, which is Pluto again, right? And this is death. It's the death card. It's a transformation card. And this card tells us that facing death leads us to truth. So you're going to have to end something so you can move on to something else. But there is a definite decision that needs to be made by you. Yeah, you're being forced to make a choice here. I don't know if that choice is particularly comfortable for you, though, here, Cancer. Now, as usual, here are your three legs. Your month has been broken up into 3. And sometimes these legs come in order and sometimes they don't. It's tarot. It's not science. So it's going to be different for each Cancer. So we'll just keep that in mind here, Cancer. You have the 7 of Pentacles. Yeah. So you have the 7 of Pentacles. It could be many things. It's Saturn and Taurus energy, many things in many readings, right? It could be patience, long-term vision, reward. But when I look at this guy, at least today, I'm looking at him and I'm saying, daydreaming in the midst of a victory, because he's looking at this crop and it's all flourishing. Look at this beautiful crop. But I get the feeling he's daydreaming maybe about something else. Again, a victory is on the table, but there's something gnawing at you. There is something else going on. You have here the 4 of Swords in reverse, Jupiter in Libra energy. We know the 4 of Swords is a very inactive card, so when it's in reverse, it's like it's action after an inaction. You're getting up and you're doing something. You do have here, yeah, and here it is. You have the 10 of Cups in reverse. What did I say? This is a harvest card, but yet you're not happy. And you could be happy on some level, but there is something keeping you from full happiness. The 10 of Cups here is in reverse, Mars and Pisces energy. There's that dissatisfaction. There is dissatisfaction with something that it could even be at one point or another this month where you say, why am I not happy? I should be thrilled right now. You do have here the Moon coming in reverse. That is your card. That is your energy. Overcoming. That you're going to be overcoming this cloudy feeling. Now, listen, I think for most people, that's what I would say. I think for you, being that this is your power card, I think, yeah, there may be something that's keeping you off kilter. It is keeping you off kilter. But there is what I like here is the undertone of this leg is a phoenix rising. So no matter how you feel at your lowest or at your most confused, you're going to rise. You know, you're going to have all that fire energy we talked about, but you're going to be rising from the ashes of whatever the heck this is, okay? And the Phoenix, again, is more Scorpion energy, just so you know. Yeah, and when we add this up and we break it down, we get Saturn. Saturn all over this, and all over this reading, all over, at least so far. Capricorn, Aquarius energy, it's discipline, it's responsibility. There is something that you are daydreaming about, something that you are longing for, maybe, and there is something very sensible that you're being presented with, and you're trying to figure out what the heck to do. At least that's my feeling on it. Here on leg 2, you have the Seven of Swords. Seven of Swords is Moon in Aquarius energy. And it could mean many things in many readings. I do believe it's strategy in this reading. And I think that is you trying to strategize what the heck to do. What do I do? What is my next move here in this situation? You do have here the Five of... Wait a minute. I have this backwards here. Give me 1 second. You have the Five of Pentacles coming in. Now, normally it would be... Normally, in any other deck, the Five of Pentacles means a certain type of thing. But look at this dreamy, look at this person. The person looking up at these pentacles, daydreaming, more daydreaming, hoping and wishing for more. There's something that you're getting and it's not enough. I don't know why that is, but it is not enough. You have the Hermit coming in reverse as well, Virgo energy, it's lack of awareness about something. There's something you're not aware of. There is something that... It's weird because you also have the Queen of Swords in reverse, the Saturn in Libra energy. And this is dealing with someone, or perhaps even you yourself, stepping into the role of a very emotionally sort of challenged woman, human. It doesn't have to be a woman. It could be a man or a woman. This is someone who is feeling rather emotional. You know, plain and simple, feeling rather emotional, maybe even snippy, maybe even like using their voice and their words in a cutting way, more so than usual, because you have soulmate here. This could be and this is absolutely a love situation for someone, and this is absolutely the type. For some people, this is a relationship. This is a definite relationship situation. For others, this is part of your soul path, right? So you have let's say it's a job. You have a job that checks all the boxes, and then you have this other thing in the background that you feel is your soul's purpose, and you're trying to decide between what everyone says you should be doing and what you really want, and perhaps strategizing and trying to come up with a plan. This can't be easy energy. But here's something fascinating. When we add this up and we break it down, we get Saturn again. Man, Saturn. Lessons, right? Lessons. What lessons are you learning? You're learning lessons here. And I think the biggest lesson you may be learning here is about yourself. Now, let's look at this. I like this energy. You have the Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands is beautiful. Jupiter and Sagittarius energy. And it's excitement. It's adventure. This is probably one of the choices that you have before you. This is something that you're excited about, right? And the first card up is the Devil. It's so tempting, isn't it? It's so tempting. Look how beautiful the Devil looks in this picture. This is so tempting. So tempting. And you have here, you have a Strength coming in. You have Strength coming in reverse here. Oh man, there's that Strength card. You're losing your battle here a little bit on this leg here. Your Strength is at an all-time low, which is, it may not be the worst thing in the world, right? You're tempted by something that has you very, very excited. You're rejecting with this Four of Cups energy, with this Moon and Cancer energy. You're rejecting something. This leg is filled with a rejection, and it's also filled with like an embracing of something that's extremely tempting. And the reason for that is there is a hole in your soul. Without this thing, without this person, without this goal, you cannot be happy. Without it. I don't know what it is. It's going to be different for each Cancer. But when we add this up and we break it down, we get Pluto energy. We get the Death card, right? And look at this card. Tell me that doesn't have the Death card written all over it as well. Yeah, you have this Pluto energy. Mm-hmm. Okay, now let's look at your challenges. Let me see if I could do the, here, I'll just do it this way here. So you have here the Five of Wands. And the Five of Wands could mean many things in many readings, Saturn and Leo energy, but I do think this means competing feelings within yourself. I do think you're trying to figure out what the heck you want. I think it's very, very confusing, at least for part of the month, because here you have the world, you're trying to choose from two different worlds here, right? Jupiter, fixed energy, what to do, decisions, and you feel like this, and honestly, I don't think you're wrong. I think it is an important decision. I mean, that's the world, right? You have these two cards that came out together. You have the Ten of Wands in reverse, and you have the Six of Pentacles in reverse. They're both in reverse. Now, the Ten of Wands in this particular deck is different. I mean, the upright position is pretty much the same, but it, under it is like you're collapsing under. There is something that is stressing you out so much that you're collapsing under it. Yeah, and Saturn and Sagittarius energy, right? And you have the Six of Pentacles here in reverse, and this is Moon and Taurus energy, and you're wondering about if there's a catch. You're like, is there a catch to this? If I take this, is there a catch to it? Well, this is very exciting, but is there a catch to it? Like, what am I not seeing? At least you're being smart, Cancer, This is energy I wish that I would have had at different points in my life. So whatever this is, it's smart. Okay. So you have, when we add this up and we break it down, we get Venus energy, Taurus, Libra energy. It doesn't really surprise me, because that could mean that could be money and goals, or that could be love, right? So it's covering all our bases here. And when you have two number sixes, which is a departure, it's a movement, it's heading towards balance. It is heading towards balance. Okay. So yeah. Looking at your opportunities here. Yeah, look at this. You have, that's right. I'm going to start here. So you have the Death card in reverse, but I have to tell you, in this deck, the Death card in reverse is a little different. Look how beautiful that is. I mean, look how dark this part is. You got the rebirth side. The sun's rising. You are coming out on the other side of this death energy. But you're putting something to rest here. It doesn't look easy. You have the Seven of Pentacles, right? And the Seven of Pentacles on this side is kind of like a reverse Seven of Pentacles, right? What did we say about this? You daydreaming on the Seven of Pentacles. Here, this is in reverse, right? No more daydreaming. No more daydreaming. Definitely not. And here, look at this. You have the Six of Wands. That was the happy card we pulled from this deck when we did your fall reading. And here it is closing out your freaking September reading on a different deck, Jupiter and Leo energy in this deck. Again, boom, success, achievement, being happy about the success and the achievement. So you have here, when we add this up and we break it down, does it surprise you? We get Saturn. Man, Saturn came out in the beginning and we're going right back to it on the last column here. Now let's do your numbers. We add everything up in this reading and we break it down, okay? We get Venus energy. So we get that same energy we got down here with that love. It could be love, it could be work, it could be both, right? It's either love or money for sure, right? Related. The number that came out the most was Venus, right? Was number 6. So we got double Venus here. And the planet that came out the most, do I need to tell you? Probably not. Saturn. Unbelievable that came out, and it came out over and over and over again in this reading. Yeah, you got the cosmic accountant coming out over and over in your reading. Embrace this, embrace these lessons, because you're going to grow tremendously with this death card here in your opportunity column, okay? The sign that came out the most was Aquarius, but it was followed very closely by Scorpio, very closely. And what is Aquarius? It's Saturn, Uranus energy, right? So the planets here, we're talking about Venus times 2, Spirit doubling down on Venus, Spirit doubling down on Saturn. And for good measure, we have some Uranus energy, which is unexpected change, okay? Yeah, now the signs that came out in general were Scorpio, Cancer, Sagittarius, Libra, Virgo, Aquarius, Taurus, Capricorn, Aries, Leo, Gemini, and Pisces. I wish you nothing but the best. Don't forget to listen to your birthday reading. I will see you next month. Namaste.